Chapter 6 Part 1 and 2. Jerry knew the woman, Mrs. Fowler, who was always very kind. When we arrived outside her house, she said to Jerry, "If ever you have any problems, tell me. I can always find work for a good driver, and I know you are one of the best." There were problems in Jerry's life. Winter came and soon there was a holiday for New Year. However, there was no holiday for the taxi drivers. We had a lot of work to do taking people from house to house. One evening, Jerry was asked to take home a rich man from a large house in the west of London. He was asked to wait outside the house until the man was ready. It was very cold and there was snow in the air. We waited for more than an hour before the man finally came outside. He did not apologize and was angry when he had to give Jerry money for the time he waited outside in the street. This man changed our lives forever. When we finally arrived home, that night, I was very cold and tired, but Jerry was worst. He coughed all the time. The next day, Harry came to feed me but I was not put in the carriage. The same happened for 2 more days. I knew Jerry was very ill. Jerry slowly recovered, but the doctor told him not to drive taxis anymore if he wanted to stay healthy. So Polly wrote to Mrs. Fowler and asked if she had any work for Jerry. A few days later, Mrs. Fowler wrote back. She wanted Jerry to work for her and said that the family could move to a small cottage near her house. This was very good news for the family, but bad news for me. I knew that they would sell me, and I was becoming old. Would I ever have such a happy home again? I was sold to another taxi driver called Skinner. I am sure that this was the same man who made Ginger so weak and sad. We worked 7 days a week and I never had a good rest or enough to eat. Critical thinking questions and their suggested answers. 1. Why do you think holidays were not common for taxi drivers?
As they had to do a lot of work taking people from house to another.
2. Why do you think that the rich man didn't apologize to Jerry when he had to wait for him in the cold?
The rich man probably thought that it was Jerry's job to wait for him. He didn't think that this might be difficult for Jerry and Black Beauty.
3. Do you think that the rich man should pay Jerry for the time he waited outside the house? Why not?
Yes, he should pay him. If Jerry didn't wait, he could take other passengers to places and get more money.
4. Why do you think that Jerry became ill?
As he had to wait outside the house of the rich man and it was very cold.
5. Why do you think Black Beauty was worried when Jerry found work with Mrs. Fowler?
Because he was becoming old and he wasn't sure that he would find a happy home again.
6. Do you think that the rich man was right when he became angry? Why?
No, because he was late for more than an hour.
Chapter 6 Part 2. One day, we waited outside a station for a train to arrive. A family of 4 asked Skinner to take them home with all their luggage. The daughter peered at me and said, "I don't think this poor horse can carry us and all our bags. He looks very weak." "He'll be fine," cried Skinner. "Don't worry about him." I tried to pull the carriage as fast as I could, but I was weak because I was given no breakfast. I wanted to go quickly, but when we started to climb a hill, I knew that I did not have enough energy. I thought that I could not breathe and suddenly fell onto the ground. I could not move and I was sure that I was going to die. After some time, someone gave me water and I slowly stood up. I was taken inside and given some food. A vet came to look at me and told Skinner that I needed good food and rest, but Skinner said that I was not good if I couldn't work. He decided to sell me. When I was well enough to travel, I was taken to another market for horses outside London. Once again I was with horses of all ages and sizes. This time, I was put with the horses that were old or ill-looking. I did not think anyone would want to buy me now. The people who looked at me were also very poor and wanted to buy a horse for as little money as possible. However, Not all of the men were poor. An old farmer with a kind face and his grandson stopped to look at me. "This one looks kind and intelligent," said the boy. "Can we buy him?" "He's old," said the farmer. "I'm sure he used to be a good horse, but there is not much he can do now." "He's not as old as he looks," said the man who took me to the market. "He was used for driving taxis and became ill. With a little rest, he'll be a good horse again." The farmer thought for a time, then decided to buy me. His grandson was delighted. My new owner was called Mr. He took me to a large field and I was given good food every day. The grandson, Willie, looked after me very well. When spring came, I felt strong again and they let me pull a small carriage. "I'm pleased we bought this one," said Mr. Thorogood. "He's a good horse and not old at all." The old farmer wanted to find me a place where I could work, and took me to the home of Miss Blomfield. She lived with her 2 sisters. "We need a new horse," she said, "but this one does not look very well. Look at his knees." "He has had a difficult past, I'm sure," said the farmer. "But you won't find a better horse than this. Try him. If you don't like him, I'll take him back." In the morning, a young man came to take me to their home. He looked at me. "He has a white foot and a white star on his forehead, like Black Beauty," he said. "Gosh, I think it is Black Beauty. Do you remember me?" "I'm Joe Green, the boy who made you ill." I remembered a small boy, not this tall, strong man, but I knew it was Joe and I was happy to see him again. "I can see that not everyone has treated you well," he said. "But you're a good horse. We should keep you, that's for sure." Joe told the women that I was once Squire Gordon's favorite horse, and when they took me for a drive, I knew they were pleased with me. I have lived in this happy place for a year. Joe is now very good at looking after me. My work is easy and I feel strong and healthy again. So here my story ends. My troubles are over. 1. Do you think that Black Beauty would do well to Skinner? Why not?
No, because Skinner wouldn't give him good rest or enough food like Ginger.
2. Why do you think that Skinner makes Black Beauty work so hard? Because he was very poor and he had to work hard to get enough money to live.
He probably didn't think that the health of his horse was important.
3. At his station, do you think that Skinner knew that Black Beauty was too weak to carry the family and their bags? Why? Why not?
I think that he knew, although he told the girl that Black Beauty was okay, he needed to take the family to get more money.
4. Why do you think that Black Beauty was sold at the part of the market where the horses were old or ill-looking?
Because Black Beauty had been ill and now he looked old.
5. Why do you think that Skinner told the girl not to worry after she said that Black Beauty looked too weak to carry their bags?
Because he didn't want to lose money. He had to work for 7 days a week to get enough money even when his horse was weak or ill.
Chapter 6 in points. 1. Mrs. Fowler was always very kind to Jerry.
2. Mrs. Fowler offered Jerry to find him work if he had any problems.
3. Jerry was asked to wait outside a rich man's house until he was ready at New Year.
4. Jerry and Beauty waited for more than an hour in the cold weather before the rich man came outside.
5. Jerry became ill and coughed all the time and slowly recovered.
6. The doctor told Jerry that he couldn't drive a taxi anymore to stay healthy.
7. Polly wrote to Mrs. Fowler and asked if she had any work for Jerry.
8. Jerry's family would move to a small cottage near Mrs. Fowler's house.
9. Jerry sold Beauty to another taxi driver called Skinner.
10. Skinner was the same person who made Ginger so weak and sad.
11. Beauty became weak because Skinner didn't give him breakfast.
12. Beauty couldn't breathe when he started climbing the hill and fell onto the ground.
13. A vet looked at Beauty and told Skinner that Beauty needed good food and rest.
14. Skinner decided to sell Beauty.
15. Beauty was sold into market for horses outside London.
16. An old farmer with a kind face called Thorogood and his grandson, Willie, decided to buy Beauty.
17. Thorogood took Beauty to a large field and gave him good food.
18. Thorogood took Beauty to Miss Blumfield's house.
19. Joe Green came to take Beauty to Miss Blumfield's house.
20. Joe Green remembered Black Beauty and Beauty remembered the small Joe Green who made him ill.
21. Joe Green became tall, strong man.
22. Joe Green told Miss Blumfield that Beauty was once Squire Gordon's favorite horse.
23. Beauty lived happily and his work was easy with Miss Blumfield, so he felt strong and healthy again.
24. Beauty's troubles are over.